Could Jeff Nippard develop PTSD as a result of the interaction with legendary strength man Mike Van Wyck? What's going on, everyone? You're watching Strength Addicts on all social media platforms, powered by Iron Mega Labs. Make your mark with IML. Visit ironmegalabs.com today. Guys, I'm not, a healthcare professional. I know that a lot of you say, hey, you're a lawyer, a gifted writer, an insightful journalist. These are all true, but I am not a lawyer and have really big hands. And if you know anything about big hands and the Donald Trump, Marco Rubio little tit for tat in 2016, this means something. 2015 it might have been, I don't remember. It was so long ago. But the question of PTSD is a medical one. It's a medical diagnosis, folks. So I would not be able to give you any kind of, answer on that. But it is possible that as a result of being grabbed by the throat and thrown across the gym like a rag doll, that Jeff developed some sort of post-traumatic stress syndrome. It would be very, very upsetting. It would be, because again, look at Jeff, natural bodybuilder, natural power lifter, huge following. I mean, this was a man. This was a successful man. And look at him now, posting photos with, marks on his neck, being thrown around like a teddy bear, a stuffed animal. I mean, when you look at the anabolic fury with which Mike just threw him, it was just, imagine how he felt. All of those years of lifting naturally, building a natural physique, apparently muscular, strong, apparently physique, and to be thrown like that, to be relegated to a street corner hoe, basically. I mean, Mike Van Wyck, basically laid down the pimp hand. And now, Jeff is posting photos. I mean, you got the neck bruising. And he may be scared of bald people now. He may see me and be like, oh my God, please don't hurt me. You know what I mean? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to hurt you. I come with supplements from Iron Mega Labs. But the point is that this may be bigger. I mean, this man may he may come with a lawsuit against Mike Van Wyck. And his lawyers may say, look, this was at one point a very successful, happy, ambitious, self-confident man. And look at him now. Look at what he's become because of Mike Van Wyck. Because Mike Van Wyck couldn't control his temper. He essentially, just decimated, this frail individual. And Mike may have to pay for that. You got to make him whole. Now, you can't take him back to before the trauma, unfortunately, but you can come as close as you can. And, maybe that's what Jeff is after. Maybe Jeff wants to regain that life that he lost, where he felt like a man. The point is that, personal injury law is just, and this is not your typical personal injury because this is a result of an intentional tort. This is not a slip and fall. This is not an accident. This was not anything like that. But that having been said, PTSD is a very interesting, thing to study because, now Jeff may have something in common with, let's say Marines or 101st Airborne, battle-hardened troops that had to, just go days, in heavy combat, dug in and just, just look at the people, the U.S. service personnel in Fallujah or Karbala, Now Jeff, they it's not really the same because they were fighting the Iraqi Republican Guard, the T-72 main battle tanks, and of course, like the soldiers and, the Iraqis had jets and all that. So there was it was an actual war, and they were fighting for America, whereas Jeff, basically got, held up in the air and thrown across the gym floor like a rag doll by a large, bald, muscular man. And so it's not quite the same, but there's still trauma, you know? When Jeff wakes up in the middle of the night, you know what I mean, he's probably like thinking about this, you know, and that's not right. That's not right. I mean, look, here's the thing. There's no excuse for what Mike Van Wyck did. There's no excuse for it at all. I condemn you, Mike. One bald man to the next. You shouldn't have done that. But now, you know, when Jeff needs to take a leak in the middle of the night, you know, and I mean, it's just because we all got to take a leak in the middle of the night, right? So imagine that, you know, Jeff's in the bathroom, you know, he's sitting on the toilet and he's thinking about Mike Van Wyck and he's thinking, my gosh, like, what happened? You know, guy can't even take a leak in peace. So the point is that violence is never the answer. Mike Van Wyck, I hope you're watching this. I hope I'm talking to you, brother. You know, because listen, like I've said in previous videos, you know, my thing is I've got a horrible temper too. I understand. But my thing is I take it out on walls, desks. I'll throw a chair every once in a while. You know, I don't do that anymore because I'm seeing a therapist. You know, but I do have a little bit of a temper. You know, I took one of those corporate exams, you know, where they like break down like your whole mindset and like all that fun stuff. And I always say this because it's so true. It's like horoscopes. You know, I don't believe in any of that stuff, but whenever they talk about Scorpios, it's like dead on. And it's like, it's frightening. But this corporate exam basically said that I am very extroverted, as you can tell, because I share everything. I say everything. I don't keep anything in here. But then I'm extremely sensitive. And I'm less sensitive than I was when I took that exam. Because now, you know, this is 15 years pre being in the bodybuilding industry, you know. Now it's like, I know that I've got an underbite and a crossbite because my wisdom teeth grew after my braces came off. And I know I need jaw surgery, but I'm not going to get it. Because why? Because randomly somebody will say you need braces? No. I like to pick at this eyebrow when I'm nervous, because when I was like 14, I tried to light a cigarette on the stove and I burnt the eyebrow, so of course I pick at it. So this one's shorter than this one. I've got a lazy, I don't know which one it is. It's very lazy. It's like astigmatism. I can't grow a full beard right there. It's like I've got a bald spot here and I've got a bald spot here. A whole bunch of things. You know, when you're involved, and my last name is Duke, which is correctly pronounced in Spanish, Duque, but a lot of people like to say Dookie. It's when you're doing what I do, and this is a wall back here. I don't got like, I'm not pretending like I'm doing this in front of the Empire State Building or, you know, in front of a cave or something. I mean, I'm a DIY guy when it comes to production. I just talk, you know, I'm as honest as I possibly can be. And that's what I do. But I am a, you know, a troll's like wet dream basically, because there's so much to make fun of, you know. But I'm not self-deprecating because I'm very proud of who I am and I love who I am and I love the sound of my own voice and I love being talked about. So and I've been there, man. I've been there. I've gotten really, really angry, and I have done to walls and desks what you did to Jeff Nippard. But the difference is walls and desks are inanimate objects. They're not living, breathing human beings or animals or whatever, or plants. They're inanimate objects, you know? So it's not like, you know what I mean? And if it's my property, then it's, you know, but at the same time, it's an irrational reaction. And it's nothing that I'm proud of. And like I said, I am going to a therapist, and I do journal, and I do try to breathe. And sometimes it seems like it's all a bunch of crap and it's a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo, but I do it because I want to be a better person. And I think you're a good person. I just think that you succumbed to a troll, basically. And I know people have said that, oh, you know, Jeff wasn't trolling you. He kind of was. He kind of was. And he got thrown across the gym like a rag doll. And that's not right either. It's not. It's not right that the guy now has to go get a CT scan. It's not right that he may have PTSD. It's not right that you know, when he takes a leak in the middle of the night, you know, he's sitting there in the toilet and he's like thinking about Jeff Van Wyck when he should be thinking about, you know, unloading, you know, whatever it is he drank, you know, the Propel water, whatever, and go back to sleep. You know what I mean? But the thing is is that now his whole life has changed. You know what I mean? And he may not be able to even sleep in a dark room. He may need to have a light on or something. You know what I mean? He may sleep with a Louisville Slugger, best bats in the world, made right here in Louisville, Kentucky, right by his side. You know what I mean? And that's not right. And I don't think I'm making fun, you know, because the whole Louisville Slugger thing and me being from Louisville and the Louisville Slugger Museum being like literally 4 blocks from here. But I'm not, because there's nothing funny about being manhandled like Jeff Nippard was by Mike Van Wyck.